Hello, and everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. And today, well, today is Throat Punch Thursday.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
It's Throw Punch Thursday, bitch.
All right, folks, once again, Craig DeLuz here with you. Mikey, well, I got to be honest with you. I don't know where Mikey is. Mikey said he was going to be here. He said, dude, I am down for 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You know I'm going to be there. Okay, you know he didn't say Pacific. Because in his eyes and Mike's eyes, unfortunately, only the one time zone that he exists in is the one that actually matters. In any case, we're here. I'm here. You're here. We're taking your comments. If you're watching us live, once again, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're here and we are taking your comments live. If you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Rumble, however you are partaking of the program, folks, let me tell you right now, you are welcome. You are welcome to tune on in. It looks like Mike is now on the line, but I'm getting him plugged in right now. Let's see here. Network, Mike Honcho, and there we go. Mikey, my man, how are you doing today?
Not shabby, sir. How are the things in the world of Craig?
Oh man, things are phenomenal. I am doing well, keeping out of trouble. I got to be honest with you. My body clock, my time clock has been all messed up. Getting my act together on a daily basis has not been easy.
Oh, I bet. Listen, it's that time zone change is not to be messed with. You know, especially when you're traveling around the globe like and heck. Listen, I go 2 counties over and it ruins me sometimes. So
I know that feeling well. Living near the a date line like you do, or not a date line, a time zone line like you do, I can imagine where that could cause a problem.
Yeah, I live near it, but I'd have to swim to get to it, so that's kind of out. But I mean, I'm a good swimmer. I'm just not going that far.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Did you enjoy the week off from the show?
Oh, I was working. It was one of those days where I think I did more work than I would have if I had been here on the show. So they like, I might have been off of the show, but when we're off of the show, it's because we're too busy to get to the show. If that makes sense.
That is usually how it works, with the exception, like I said, because even when we do even a lot of times, even when I'm on vacation, if I have an internet access, we'll do the show. But being in a foreign country, in a third world country, 20 hours difference from here, I want to say 28, no, not 28, 21 hours difference. Yeah, 21 hours difference from you. It was just there was no way. There was just no way it was going to be functional, and not having a solid internet connection. But I will say this. I drank a lot of rum, spent a lot of time in the ocean, and enjoyed myself.
And after you drank all that rum, where did it go? Into the ocean when you were
Probably
in
into the ocean.
Okay, just checking. It's so warm in the water here. It's crazy.
Yeah, people wonder why in places like there in Hawaii the water is so warm. It's not a secret.
Right, yeah. The water here, it's like 98.6 degrees.
I know.
Wow, it's so
Everybody's just kind of standing there like,
yeah. Yeah. Hey, come over here in a minute. In a minute. Yep.
oh, but yeah, a good
Yep.
time was had by all. And there was just what kept tripping me out though was I was getting enough from my Twitter feed to kind of see what was going on in the world, and there was so much good gun news, and so much gun news, period. So much stuff to talk about. That was the only thing that I probably missed, was just being able to chop it up and talk about what was going on. But you know what? Ain't nothing slowed down since I've been back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And tonight, the big fight, right? Get to watch Tyson versus Jake Paul. No, Trump versus Biden, same thing.
There you go. Same thing. Same thing. Which one is the dementia patient?
Oh, Jake Paul, because he
There
thinks
you go. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see. It involves a dementia patient, someone who's overly aggressive, someone who's a senior citizen and showing some signs of aging. Although Mike Tyson has showing very little signs, but he ain't the Mike Tyson of 30 years ago. But I can't think of many 20+ year any people Mike Tyson's age back then that would even stand in the ring with him now.
Yeah, I'm still not getting in the ring with them. I don't care. 30 years older, still not getting in the ring with them. Not doing it. You know?
Nope. Not at all. Not at all. All right. Well, hey, let's get ready to get into it because we got some good stuff to talk about today. And you know how that works. We always start off with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, let's say hi to our good friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. If you got yourself an AR in the past 5 years, probably got one of their barrels and don't even know it. Well, now you can now you get a barrel direct from them. Whatever you want for your next AR build, whether it be rifle or pistol caliber, any length you desire. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. Make sure you reach out to them and get involved. If you want the best tactical concealed holster on the market, get on over to hawgholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, all spaces, no caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And if you want the best in field gear, the best in tactical gear, the best in wearable gear to go get your game on, reach out to our good friends at uscombatgear.com and tell them the guys from Arms Room Radios.
You mean the guys at the Rundown?
Yes, the Rundown. Give myself a shameless plug for this weekend show. You know,
there you go. For those of you who do not know, and I sincerely doubt you guys don't know, Mike hosts his own national radio show called Arms Room Radio. He's one of several hosts. You guys have seen Earl. You've seen all the guys. They've been on the program here before. Phenomenal show talking about the Second Amendment, talking about firearms. Good stuff. They have a very good time. Probably even a better time than we have here on the Rundown. But that's only because they have more people.
They have more what?
Oh, well, probably because they have more people as well as on your show you can't see what's going on while you're doing the show.
Yeah. True. Looking to change that though, so that's weird, but
I
don't know how we're going to do that.
Excellent. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be phenomenal. Looking forward to seeing that. All right, folks, let's go ahead and let's get into today's program. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the first story. We know that the mainstream media, as they usually do, is prone to lying. Well, guess what? Just one more lie, and that is talking about the Gaza famine that never was. Now, if you watch anything in the mainstream media, you know they're talking about, there's a famine, and the Israelis aren't letting them get food into the Gaza Strip, so they're dying of hunger over there. And well, the truth is that's just not the case. And as is being reported by the folks over at the Washington Free Beacon, it says here, oh, what do you know? The Gaza famine that never was. It says here, U.S. officials and media claimed Israel was using starvation as a weapon. New evidence shows this was a lie. New evidence indicates that contrary to the claims by top U.S. officials and international media, the Gaza Strip is not on the precipice of widespread famine, and Western experts claimed would endanger millions of innocent Palestinians. Famine is imminent in northern Gaza. The Integrated Food Security Classification, a network of Western governments, the United Nations, and nonprofit groups warned in March, prompting unfounded accusations that Israel is using starvation as a war tactic. The IPC's report was quickly amplified by outlets like the Washington Post. that foretold imminent famine in Gaza. Politico, the New York Times, and CNN alleged Israel is guilty of war crimes. But on Tuesday, the IPC revised its initial assessment, saying that the projected famine in Gaza did not come to fruition in May. The available evidence does not indicate that famine is currently occurring, the organization said in its last report, which notes that Israel has significantly increased aid and that conditions in the Gaza have drastically improved. Now, Mike, I think you and I both know this because we've talked about it before. They never were keeping aid from getting into Gaza.
The Israelis are not. No. Now Hamas was, if you recall, keeping aid from getting in because they were taking aid and sending it elsewhere for trading it for arms and goods, rather than for the food itself. But were the Israelis blocking any aid getting through? No, not a chance. No.
Well, Mike, what makes it even worse is this isn't the first time that they've lied. These same entities lied about the bombing of a hospital in Gaza supposedly by the Israelis. Come to find out, no, it was another group that actually was trying to fire rockets into Israel, and it landed and hit in the parking lot of a hospital. We also know that this very same exact group put out these astronomical numbers of civilians, claiming the number of civilian deaths, and they had to turn around and they had to revise those numbers, and none of the mainstream media reported or changed any of the numbers that they had put out. They didn't say, "Oh yeah, well no, those numbers have been adjusted downward." And you know the numbers I'm talking about, the ones that they got from Hamas Ministry of Health. I mean, how are we supposed to trust the media when we know for a fact that they are just going to lie to us?
They are going to lie to us, Craig. And there might be a little bit of truth to this. I don't know if you're anybody out there is familiar with the type of food that is sent to these places where there's food shortages. And you see, the parachutes and the pallets for food that they give out. It's three things that come in these food rations. It's rice, it's cheese, and it's peanut butter. Rice, cheese, and peanut butter is what they send around the world to all these places. Now, Craig, it's been since we're talking since October, right? That this has been going on. There's every chance that those people in Gaza might say, "I'd rather starve than eat any more of this crap." Okay, that's possible. That's possible. All right, but a famine, no, that's not going on.
Well, but the other thing that they've noted is that the amount of aid that has gotten to Gaza is literally more. I mean, we're talking thousands of calories a day per person in terms of aid that's gotten there. Now, has all of it gotten to the people? No, a lot of it's been stolen. And we know it's going to be stolen because we watched. You can watch the satellite, the pictures on satellite as the people take over and they take over the trucks. But that's not Israel doing that. That's Hamas doing that. And now here's the worst part, Mike. If you were to send in peacekeepers, we'll call them peacekeepers. If you were sending troops along with those trucks to make sure that they didn't get raided, that once again the international community would lose their minds.
Yeah, absolutely right. But you know what, Greg? They would still find more ways to lie about it. Then it would be, shock troops sent in to shoot food at us, or something ridiculous.
Sent in to shoot food. Sent in to food.
Yeah,
you say shoot food at us?
Shoot food at us. He said it was peanut butter mortars they were launching at us, and stuff like that.
Sadly, I could see that. I could definitely see them saying some crap like that. Anyway. But that leads us to our next story, and this has to do with the American distrust for media. And this was a report that actually, kind of interestingly, came out of the Washington Post. And I'm reading it here at MSN, Microsoft News, because, I'm not paying money to read the Washington Post. Anyway, so here it is that they're reporting. And once again, they're looking, in this case in particular, they're looking at trying to analyze who's going to be making decisions in this election. Let's be honest. I'm in a blue state. California is going to overwhelmingly going to wind up voting for Biden. because there's a lot of stupid Californians. Okay. Uh, there are other states, like, for example, well, there are other states where they are going to go Trump, right? Because, they're smart enough not to vote for Biden. And then there are some states where it's kind of a toss-up, right? That's where a lot of these decisions are going to be made when it comes to the upcoming election. Well, in this report that they put out, it says here, a new measure of Americans' deep distrust of media. It says here, it's a grim time to be a member of the news media. Many people, though presumably few here in Washington, at the Washington Post, see this as karma, if not good news. They view the media as having failed at the basic task of informing the public. That sentiment is particularly acute in the realm of political coverage. Donald Trump has spent nearly a decade excoriating the press for its alleged failings that tend to correspond to coverage of his false statements, of his supposed false statements. While Trump's rhetoric is often among the most virulent, this isn't solely downstream from Trump. Trump himself, of course, was simply picking up and amplifying long-standing trend of the right cast of the media as opponents. Oh, that it's right to cast the media as opponents. In recent years, there's been particularly acute criticism from the left as well. Complaints that coverage is insufficiently generous to the left and overwhelmingly hospitable to the right. So what they're pointing out in this is that to make a long story short, among swing state voters, whether they're on the right or the left, they believe that the media is tilting towards the other side. Now, what's funny about this to me is that I think the folks on the right sufficiently get that, the media is definitely tilted left. And for people on the left who don't trust the media, it's largely because they believe that they are not tilting left enough.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, obviously, we know that those of us on the right are not pleased with the media because there are no sources of right media until you get to, you're down to our level, Craig. You used to have Fox News, but because they were the only ones, all of a sudden they became radical extremists, and you couldn't believe anything they said. And even then, if they have had to start becoming more centrist and even leaning towards the left in their news. As far as those on the left, I don't know, how they don't believe the media. I mean, everything is said to them. Maybe there actually are those on the left that some honest news that, I guess if you were to turn on the news and every day they said, nope, nothing wrong, all good to go here, then you'd finally think, I think something might be wrong.
Well, but for example, many of them are upset that there's not like 100% Trump coverage all the time. They're mad because the mainstream media isn't calling, or at least isn't totally calling Donald Trump a rapist, even though he's never been convicted of rape. They're upset that you would dare say anything, report on anything Donald Trump that isn't about him being sent to jail. They're upset that you're not seeing wall-to-wall coverage of the impending climate change apocalypse that's supposed to be happening, within the next 10 years. You ever notice, though, on that climate change thing, it's always within the next 10 years, and the next 10 years never actually gets here?
Well, it's just 10 more years, right? It's
right.
10 more years because all the things they've done on the left slowed it some.
Mm-hmm. Oh, almost forgot. And if you're not constantly talking about how racist America is, if you're not constantly doing that, in fact, if you dare have any media, anybody in the newsroom or anybody in media who is not part of a protected class, meaning if you are a straight white male, then you clearly are a racist organization. So that would include us, by the way. Although I know you're a white male, the straight thing, I'm not going to assume.
Oh, no, you want to assume my sexual orientation. I guess we won't talk about Vegas, right?
Because if I'm wrong, I'll make an ass of you and me, and I'm not going to be an ass if your sexual orientation isn't what I think. What?
Exactly. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So no stories. Yeah.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yep. Yep.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Yep.
Anyway, in any case, I just think that the worst part of the thing that makes this frustrating is the media is supposed to be kind of like that fourth branch of government to help hold government accountable,
Right.
and it can only hold people accountable if they are to be trusted. And if you cannot trust them, then you can't trust the information that comes from them. Where do you get unbiased, honest information about what's going on in this world, about what's going on in this country, when they are literally going out of their way to not tell you the truth? And I work with media both on the right and the left. So I see the stories that are coming out. And I'll tell you right now, the left is lying. 100% lying to the world about what is going on, lying to their audience.
Yeah, and it's scary because you see what they're lying about, and you watch the people on the left just go, yeah, oh yeah, we believe that, and you stop in your tracks and go, are you kidding? I mean, how could anybody possibly believe that? And they do, because it's coming straight from the mouths of their favorite media, pundits.
And even when you share with them the truth, nope, not interested.
Well, they got all that Trump derangement syndrome in their ears. They can't hear past that.
Oh, TDS affects your hearing. True that.
That's it. Yep.
Oh, all right, moving right along. SCOTUS allows government coercion of social media. Now, this story here is in most of the media is actually, when I say lying, they're misrepresenting what the decision was, right? So here, and I'll use the example here of Reuters. Reuters basically is saying, Reuters is saying, U.S. Supreme Court will not curb Biden administration social media contacts. Meaning, once again, going back to whether it was the Hunter Biden laptop, whether it was COVID, their Biden administration has been contacting and pressuring social media to not allow people who go against the government narrative to have their voices heard, to suppress them. In many cases, to cancel their accounts. We know that because we lost our YouTube channel thanks to something like this. In any case, it says here, the U.S. Supreme Court declined on Wednesday to impose limits on the way President Joe Biden's administration may communicate with social media platforms, rejecting a challenge made on free speech grounds to how officials encourage the removal of posts deemed misinformation, including about elections and COVID. Now, let's see here. Let's get to the next part of this story. It says here, the New Orleans-based Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals had issued an injunction constraining such contacts by the administration, but conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who authored the Supreme Court's ruling, wrote that the two Republican-led states and the other plaintiffs lacked the required legal standing to sue the administration in court. So in other words, Mike, what they're saying here is that they didn't have standing, and that's why they wound up losing the court case. Not because the government was right, but because they needed entities to sue. Now, Mike, this is what's funny about this. I've reached out to attorneys about what happened to our YouTube channel. And I'm thinking to myself, look, we had over 1,000 subscribers. And we were growing. Our channel was really starting to take off and gain traction. And they wound up deleting our channel, removing our channel totally over videos that were over a year old. They didn't give us a chance to remove them or to take them down or anything. They were over a year old, and they took down our channel. And I'm like, okay, we're an entity. We sell sponsorships. We seek support. We've been financially damaged by this. But I couldn't get an attorney to take the case.
Because they know this is where it would end up, right? They know that people were not going to touch it. And I think about it, Craig. If you go after social media or social media giants, what can they do to you? Well, they can kind of ruin your reputation forever. Oh, well, I'll just sue them then to fix my social media reputation. Oh yeah, they'll get right on that. They promise that's what they're going to do. It's tough to do legally for that reason. It's tough to do legally because you're talking about breaking new ground every time you look at a case like this, and then you get finally, and if we know if Justice Barrett is put this in her opinion, that she's following the rule of law on this, and that got involved in it, didn't have standing, and now they have to ground zero and start again.
And there it is right there. So now they've got to find people with standing. So all I know is this: if you're watching this, any of you from one of the two states that filed this lawsuit, or if you're an attorney, give us a holla. Hit us up. Hit us in the comments. Hit us up and give us a shout out and hit us up in the DM, whatever. Right? But let us know, because I want to see this taken care of, because quite frankly, I ain't gonna lie, the government is they see this as their right to be able to do this, and we know everything that we talked about relating to COVID, we now know is now true. And
That's
I
right.
still can't get anyone from Google or from YouTube to hit us to at least just acknowledge that that anything and put our channel back up.
That's right. Remember, the two big topics were COVID with K. I'm talking about that version of
that
it.
was, by the way, that was the line that got us killed. COVID
Yep.
with a K is fake.
And then, of course, erection flawed. Yep.
Erection flawed. That was the other one. Erection
Yep.
flawed. That's if you don't know what that is, then you really need stop smoking that stuff.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Patrick has tuned in. Patrick Collins from the Gun Foodie. He says, sad the world we live in today is controlled by folks trying to push the narrative. Yes, they most definitely are. Definitely are trying to push a narrative. And the thing is that it makes us worse as a people. Because once again, you have a bunch of people who really think they're making good decisions, and they're making bad decisions because they're being given bad information. Now,
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's in their defense. Now, contrary to that, there are enough people out there shouting out, putting out the right information, that you have at least have the ability to do the research for yourself and decide for yourself. The problem is most people don't bother.
Right. Yeah. The sheep don't bother. Right, Craig? Listen. If you're told day after day, "Oh, Trump's a racist. He's a woman hating racist." At some point, you think you would go, I should probably check into that, because I've never seen him say a racist thing.
Why check into it? He's a racist.
Yeah.
I'm
I've never seen him say
I'm
racist
kidding.
thing.
I don't know if he's a racist or not, but I know that I don't see evidence to support it. The fact that he is.
Well, I see evidence, to the opposite. Look at his cabinet. Look at everybody that was in his administration. Those are easy indicators to look at. But why believe that? I could be lazy and just go with the news. There you go.
He was an NAACP award winner. There are pictures with him with leaders in the black community for decades. Before he decided to run for president as a Republican. And the reason why they believe he is a racist is because, well, he's a Republican.
That's right. And listen, keep calling him a racist. I don't have a problem with it. In fact, he keeps more and more of the minority vote because of everything he's done for them. And if those people on the left want to believe that he doesn't, that's okay. We'll watch those votes go bye-bye for you.
There you go. Exactly. All right, Sotomayor's gift to gun ban opponents. I know you're wondering, you're like, wait, what? Yes, Sotomayor has given a gift to, and this is in her dissent in the Cargill case, but she's given a gift to folks in the gun rights community, and that's because, well, she doesn't know any better. So this is a piece that was written by our good friend, Mr. Tom Knighton, over at Bearing Arms, and I'll get to it real quick. It says, Justice Sotomayor isn't exactly a fan of the Second Amendment. That's been clear based on her voting since she hit the bench, so to speak. She was the justice who wrote the dissent in Cargill, the case that overturned the ATF's bump stock ban. She was the one who seemed to think it was perfectly acceptable to have a regulatory body redefine terms previously set by Congress simply because they wanted to. Well, one of the ones anyway. And yet, her dissent in Cargill is a treasure for gun rights advocates fighting for our rights in lower courts. For example, FPC recently cited a number of Supreme Court opinions that seemingly run contrary to Cook County, Illinois, and their assault weapons ban. Then they took things a step further. FPC also pointed to comments Sotomayor made earlier this month in Garland v. Cargill against overturning a rule by the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives banning bump stocks. In her dissenting opinion, Sotomayor insisted that the October 1st, 2017 shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada, in which 60 people were killed and hundreds more were injured, was carried out by a shooter who affixed bump stocks to, quote, commonly available semi-automatic rifles. FPC argued Sotomayor's use of the words commonly available to describe semi-automatic rifles matched up with the Supreme Court's prior decision in D.C. versus Heller that firearms, quote, in common use are protected by the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. So even she has to admit, is basically what's going on here, that these firearms that they want to ban, they're in common use.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and she still does not believe they should be available. But she states on here they're commonly available. Giving up her right to say they're not. Now she's going to still maintain that position, whether they're commonly available or not. She does not agree with their use, with their possession, with their ownership. That's just that was her argument, back during Heller as well, that they shouldn't be around, but they are, and now at least she's admitted to the fact that they do exist in common day use.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's one of the things I think that ultimately is going to also cause a problem with the magazine bans that they've been pushing. They're going to say that, well, magazines are going to be protected because in many cases you're talking about magazines that are standard capacity magazines. So these magazines that these bans that ban 20 round magazines or 15 round magazines or even as low as 11 round magazines, those bans I think once again are going to be in danger because guess what? They're in common use or they're commonly available. Well, everywhere except for places like California.
Yeah, right. And listen, there are all of these bans that we've seen from ATF and the rewriting of the laws are going to eventually now be deemed to be unconstitutional. They clearly do not have the authority to do so. And remember, she's saying that the ATF is allowed to rewrite the law because she does not believe in the separation of powers between the three branches of government. Even as herself, as member of the judicial branch, she wants to be able to legislate as well. So she's against the judicial branch, not being able to legislate, and she's also for the legislative branch, evidently able to create new laws. So. And judge against them. So she's all over the place. She wants everybody to have every power except for the people that she opposes.
Well, there you go, and that's what it is. See, in their eyes, it's implement your agenda by any means necessary. Meaning, the Constitution doesn't only matters if the Constitution agrees with what they want to do. If the Constitution doesn't agree with what they want to do, then screw the Constitution. Same thing with the legislative branch. Same thing with the judicial branch. Watch, President Biden in one hand is talking about the out of control judiciary. And then on the next step, he's talking about, well, we need to believe what the judiciary says and respect the legal system, when they convict Donald Trump. Well, wait, which is it? You either trust the system or you don't. I have my issues with the system. And I think that if people follow the rules within the system, I think it works. I think, though, if you let people pervert the system the way many on the left do, well, then that's what you wind up dealing with.
Yeah. No, we've said it many times, that the left believes the ends justify the means, and that includes lying. I mean, lying to people's faces, and they're okay to do that and redirect and make you change your mind based on their lies because they want what they want in the end. Therefore, the ends justify the means.
Exactly. That our be where they be. Speaking of being where we be, that brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. We're going to start off talking a little bit about the debate. And, the debate is coming up. And Patrick over at the Gun Food, he wanted to make sure we talked a little bit and just mentioned there's going to be a 2-minute editing delay on CNN that CNN is putting in for the debate tonight. Now, I'm willing to bet that they're doing that in the event that Donald Trump gets off a really good shot against Biden, or Biden does something really, really bad or stupid and they want to protect him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is to try and reduce on the mumble effect. Hopefully, like when you get like a shock jock on the radio and you start using that dump button, you get to the point where you ain't got no more dump button left and you got to go live. I think with as much fumbling and mumbling as he's going to be doing, this 2-minute delay will probably be gone in the first 10 minutes.
Well, there you go. Exactly. But, I got to tell you, though, I hear that they have some of the best in the country actually working with President Biden in his debate prep. And we've got some behind the scenes video of the president's debate prep. Let's check it out.
Okay, Joe, last one. We've been here for a week. You got this. All right, number one, the dude's convicted felon. Say Trump's a convicted felon. Over
Every
over.
answer. All
Convicted
of them.
felon. All right. Russia, bad. Russia's real bad.
Real bad.
Who win?
Don't like them.
Ukraine, good. Zelensky, more money. Billions to Ukraine.
More money.
All right, border secure. What is he talking about? Wide open border. What are you, nuts? Aliens are cool. LGBTQAI+. We love the gays,
Can't
Joseph.
get enough
we
of
love
them.
the gays.
You're gay.
I'm gay. You're gay. We're all gay. All right, the economy. Hey, Joe, focus. Focus, all right? Shiny thing.
Remember the
hot
plus.
girl. Yeah, Roe v. Wade, abortions. Have them. Everybody have
Love
them.
'em.
Wait, Joe, wake up. Hey, wake up. Joseph, don't fall asleep.
It's the
That's
number one on the list.
Give me the adrenaline.
More?
Yes, we need more. This guy's a freaking passing out old.
All right, Joe, wake up.
Adrenaline shot is ready, and boom. There we go. Daddy like you, huh? Daddy like
back
you,
up.
huh?
All right.
All right, Joe, focus. Continue. All right. Don't talk incest. You didn't shower with your daughter at an inappropriate age.
You were conserving water
Yeah,
from the
you're going
environment.
green, okay? Don't slip and fall. Do not slow your words. And listen, if Hunter comes up, he's amazing, all
He's
right?
the smartest man
you know. And do not say the N-word, Joseph.
We're live. We can't cut it
I know
this
you
time.
love it. And
All
guess what? If you don't say the N-word, you get a little treat.
Double stuff.
Double stuff Oreo cookie. Last but not least, do not insult Israel. Don't you dare.
You love the Jews.
You
You
love
can't get
the
enough.
Jews. So I think we're good. What's that smell?
It's like someone pooped their pants.
Joseph!
There you go.
That's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, that's right on the money right there. That's right on the money. Yeah.
Now, the Trump campaign is actually prepared, and they have released, or at least they've leaked, a new commercial that they have out specifically following the debate. Now, folks, this is not a parody in that this is a real commercial, and you'll know this when you see it. Check it out.
When you think about the Joe Biden you saw in the debate, ask yourself a question. Do you think the guy who was defeated by the stairs, got taken down by his bike, lost a fight with his jacket, and regularly gets lost, makes it 4 more years in the White House? And you know who's waiting behind him, right? Vote Joe Biden today and Kamala Harris tomorrow.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Right. Very nice.
Comedy?
Very nice.
Yes. True?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yes. Yep.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, and this final one, this was sent to Mike. Sent this one over to me, and for those of you out there who are listening to the woke professors at your universities or your woke high school teachers about communism and fairness and equity and all of this stuff that they're promoting, please listen to this person who has lived with and experienced the future of what it is that these individuals are talking about. And notice the country she is referring to.
Tyranny always comes in the name of compassion and equality of outcomes. When I was at Columbia, they are brainwashing my classmates saying education should be free. Healthcare is a human right. How unfair is it that there are billionaires and there are homeless people? It should be we are all equal. This same idea began the living hell of North Korea. When Kim Il-sung came to my grandmother's and my grandfather, he said this to exact thing to us. How unfair is that they are landowners, they are capitalists. And how unfair is that your children cannot be educated, you need to pay for it. If you give me the power, Kim Il-sung said, I'm going to make everything free. Government was gonna provide everything for us. If we just gave up our private property, our freedom of speech, our freedom of movement.
Now, Mike, that message is so powerful and I've heard that message from people from not just North Korea, but from Cuba, people from Venezuela, people from the Soviet Union, and they all say the same exact thing. And they're like, and they see it happening here, and they're like, no, we do not. I know I've seen this movie before.
Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah, Germany, Cambodia, any other places, Venezuela, you can think that this applied to. Craig, I sent you one picture, and it's a picture of a picture because evidently my computer does not want to send it to send you a snapshot. So, just one to leave this segment with. You'll be able to address tonight's main event. We'll just say that. We'll say that.
Okay, here we go. I'm believing is that the one?
That's the one.
Let's get ready to mumble.
Mumble. Tonight's main event.
Oh, good stuff. That is hilarious. Well, anyway, folks, we're near the end of the program. And I say near because we're not quite there yet. There's one more thing that we got to do. And that's another quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. Make sure you visit our friends at hitmanindustries.net. Hitmanindustries.net. You can get rifle and pistol caliber barrels available in any length you desire for your next AR rifle or pistol build. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Make sure you take part in California's future today. And if you need any type of field gear, going outdoors, going hunting, going camping, no matter what it is, you can get everything except the gun from uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Please take a moment, visit our sponsors. You can find the links to their websites in the description to this program. Go there, check them out, spend some money with them. And when you do, make sure you tell them it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. We will be back tomorrow on Free for All Friday, or Thank God It's Friday, or whatever you want to call it. All I know is it's going to be Friday. We're going to have a good time. Hope you can join us.